What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Married at First Sight. This is season 14, episode 13, and this episode is called Popping Questions. And for those who are new to my channel, what I do is recaps of reality shows. I do detailed reviews. I may not do every single scene, but I go over different important parts that stuck out to me, and maybe even pick up some details you may not have seen. Now, this is the channel of the #1 commenter, so all I ask is that when you see the video, get down in the comments. I don't ask for the likes and the subscriptions. If you rocking with J-Dub, that's just gonna come automatic. But I need those comments because this is what I do it for. Normally, I'm over on other people's channels that I support who have great content, and I'm just in the comments. I really do this for y'all because I've been told that this is a platform I should open, and I just jumped off the porch and went with it. And as far as the comments, I would say I go out my way to make sure everybody who puts a comment that I acknowledge it and respond. The only way I don't get to it if it's a sub comment, meaning within the comment itself, because YouTube doesn't notify me. But it's just my way of letting everybody know who makes a comment that your comment is very important, because you could put it anywhere else on YouTube, but you decided to come to my channel and do it. And also, I enjoy it. So when I see your comments, it's like we get to engaging and debating and laughing and joking. And as I tell y'all, the Dub fam, a lot of y'all funnier than me. Y'all be having me cracking up. I mean, I'll be like, I can't believe they just said that. But let's get into the segment. This is the third segment of Married at First Sight, Mark and Lindsey, because I do individual videos. So we go to the, the House of Cats. The House of Cats, they got cats on the balcony. They got cats on the counter. They got cats on the bed. They got cats in the tub. There cats everywhere. 5 cats in a 2-bedroom apartment. That probably is against the law or something. But, right into it, we can't just see a day of eggs and bacon or something. Lindsey's upset. She's bothered again. And she's just at a true loss. She's at a true loss. And I noticed when Lindsey is upset, I guess because he's under attack, Mark goes immediately for the tit for tat, because she'll be like, you're not consistent. He'll be like, well, you're not consistent. Well, you don't show me love. Same here, two-way street. I get it, but that really doesn't help anything. Let's just say if Lindsey brought the conversation to a normal tone with all the extra emotion and anger and all that, it's not mature of another person to be like, oh, well, you do the same thing. It's your time to bring up your point of maybe something that you're getting. It's not time for when somebody's addressing you or bringing something to you. But we got to give Mark a break, because this isn't like a normal setting. But when you look at Lindsey, I understand now when Mark say, it's a lot. It's just a lot. It's absolutely a lot, because every time you see her, she's in one of these states or all at the same time. She's like in a saddened, drunken rage. She never has a healthy conversation. Mark is absolutely right about that. And I'm just thinking, who could even speak in that type of environment? So, Mark tries to calm it down and be the voice of reason. And Mark always has to go into types of some spiel where I tell you, like, production sets out some type of cue card somewhere for him to read a speech of, how to, I guess, seem so mature. So this time he's on the counter. He was like, I will not go negative with you. I will be very trying, and in any situations that I feel negativity coming to me, he gotta say something. But Lindsey keeps interrupting him, and Mark is just like, he's tired of hearing it from Lindsey, because she's always complaining or always upset or always just on this verge of the end. I'm no more love, or I'm shutting it down, and all that kind of talk. That's how Lindsey do. Everything is like very final with her, and it's just the end of the world. But Lindsey, like, she constantly needs that affirmation that, you know, Mark's going to hang in there or stick in there. And I think Mark is trying to get his shark title back because he just broke it down for Lindsey. Like, you know, you always upset. You know, I just apologize. I'm sorry. I'm not the type of husband that you want, or I'm not doing the things that you want me to do and all of that. And he brings a point in the sense that, yeah, he is a person who sticks and stays in the marriage. And that could be a good or bad thing, because like Lindsey's always packing a bag every time they have an argument. And it's good to have that trait in a marriage where you're not leaving or running out all the time. But at the same time, when you're making promises or not following through, in a sense, that's just as bad. You know, it's almost like you're not truly committed or you faking in a marriage. That's what Mark will do. He act like he always in it, and then he just kind of backs up off of it. So, yeah, that I could see that how that would really bother Lindsey in that sense, because she doesn't feel like he's consistent or she can count on him, because she says that Mark is like a different person, like off camera. So it may seem like he's putting his best foot forward, but does he really follow through? So they show Mark in the confessional cam. He's on his way to meet up with Pastor Cal. And Mark, the way he's speaking, it just sounds like he's just mentally drained and exhausted, because pretty much he has a feeling like him and Lindsey are going to be on this merry-go-round where that everything is just continuing the same way. They'll make up to break up. The conversation, you know, just they'll keep having the same conversations. And when they show like the flashbacks of them having like an argument, just watching that, I was exhausted. I'm like, I don't even know how he even deal with that. And I'm still waiting for that day for Mark. I'm sure he has it now, but I need to see it on camera or what he's going to do about it. About the way Lindsey was speaking in that bowling alley and just with everything, because that was a lot. Even if that's their year anniversary, Mark need to walk away from her, because that ain't it. And Pastor Cal is there. He's talking to Mark, and he's doing what mass production wants you to do. You want to keep pushing you back into the toxicity. You know, just trying to tell you how a way to deal with it, and like, you know, you can get past it, you can get over it, and you know, that's what they do. And just listening to Mark and Pastor Cal, it really makes more sense of what I've been always saying, that they are pairing these couples for the perfect storm. And it's making sense, because Mark and Lindsey, they're just a great example of it, because Pastor Cal really like reminded Mark that Lindsey is not his mother. And when I think about it, that's exactly what's going on here. Lindsey is exactly like his mother, a depressive woman who puts out negative things, who lashes out in anger, or just say any crazy thing to you, and you got to absorb it. And not only that, I guess Pastor Cal has talked to Mark in detail about his background, and he asked Mark, like, are you afraid of becoming your father? And that you could tell that hit Mark real hard, because he's like, nobody ever said that to me. And I guess deep down, that's what he feels like. He feels like a man who, I guess, allows his wife to verbally abuse him, and just to be always caught in darkness and all these fits of rage that he got to deal with. So, like I said, they really put this thing together. And let's not forget the point where Mark, I guess the only person or the last love he had, he was so into, but she turned into a different person after she drank. And that's just like Lindsey. So why would Mavs give him the same type of woman that he had before, where it was really an unhealthy relationship? And not only that, compound that with almost Lindsey playing the role of his mother, like picking up where she left off. And, you know, Mark, I guess he's got that that sense of, you know, he has that dependency where like he wants a mama bear, an overbearing mama bear, to take care of him and to affirm him, and that feeds him chicken nuggets and pizza and goldfish all day. So I always said the production, they not fooling me. This is exactly what they wanted. And they took time to research this and to really put these two people together to give the drama that we're seeing right now. So Lindsey, she's meeting up with Dr. Pepper. And I noticed, but now I really noticed, you see how short Dr. Pepper is? It looked like when they was walking through, I don't know if it was a conference room with a kitchen in it. Dr. Pepper was just barely taller than the counter, and that kind of threw me off. You know, it was like she has the height of a child. And we see Lindsey, she's dressed up, but you know, of course, anything that Lindsey puts on is ill-fitted, and she has like a pink blazer with the matching shorts, but you can barely see the shorts, and some high heels on. And she's dressed up, but you know, it looks like her normal mode. She's been like she's been crying all night, or she's recovering from a hangover. And I thought Dr. Pepper gave Lindsey some real good advice, because she asked Lindsey to stop forecasting, because Lindsey will say, well, like, hey, I gave everything all up front, and once I'm gone, you're not getting me back, or you know, I gave you all my love, I'm pulling it back, and you won't get it again. And Dr. Pepper's like, you need to stop doing that. That doesn't help. Which is true, because look how many times Lindsey has walked out the door on Mark, or she's done with the marriage, and they, in 48 hours, they back up making up again. And that's been a pretty much month and a half of really what's been going on. And also Dr. Pepper told Lindsey that she needs to stop like embracing the anger. The anger is not her friend in the marriage. What she needs to do is go to the sadness and kind of get her feelings out and say why she's feeling bad. And Lindsey really revealed that, like, she's sad all the time. And she pretty much is used to bad things happening all the time. And I was thinking, like, if that's not Mark's mother, I don't know what is. Like, Mark did describe his mother as, like, I guess him and her father not working out, how she just sit in a room for days, or even will go to the bathroom in the room and all that, just so sad and depressed. And that's who they matched him up with, his mother. But again, they knew what they was doing. And Lindsey was pretty much saying, like, I really can't even go into the sadness. It's like so much to unpack. And I'm just thinking, like, hey, they set them up for all of that. How can Mark deal with that? Lindsey is not happy with herself. She's dealing with like depression. Mark can't treat that. Mark can't love that away. That's not going to happen. But again, this is what they wanted to happen. But when I heard Lindsey talking to Dr. Pepper, you could kind of get a feel for how deep and dark and so much pain she's dealing with. And that's like wrapped up in, I guess, her mother not loving her properly, and also like what she said, taking her down a peg or two. So just trying to like chip away at her self-esteem. So they show Mark, I guess, well, he did ride in the car by himself. So he came back to the apartment, and in the confessional, he's pretty much nervous to kind of come back and talk to Lindsey about the things that are going on, because he feels like not so much that he can't say what he needs to say and address it, but when he gives feedback to what she has to say, he feels like it's going to go left. You know, Mark is just afraid. He's just always afraid of what Lindsey is going to say to him. And we see Lindsey, when he get in the house, they seem like cheerful or whatever, or happy to see each other, or they're in a good place. And we see Lindsey has been experimenting with some fried chicken, as I would say, Mark would say, because like it's brand new to this. He's like, well, what kind of chicken is this? You know, he looking. It don't look like chicken nuggets or chicken tenders. Lindsey answers, bark, 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 and then goes to wipe her nose before she give him the chicken. I'm like, spouse, wife, mother, anybody, don't feed me no food when you do like this before you give it to me. You gotta throw that plate away. I'm funny like that. I don't play no stuff like that. Even if it didn't touch the plate, don't do that. Don't do that. That bothered me. That triggered me. I'd have knocked that plate on the floor. But it looked like she gave him some fried chicken thigh. It was hot, but she gave him a little baby piece like you give like a little 5-year-old. And I guess that was enough for Mark. He just wanted a little piece of fried chicken. So he didn't say he didn't like it, but you know, it's always like a first for Mark. They do that on Married at First Sight too. They bring somebody who's so unexposed to the world that tacos and chicken and water and everything freaks them out for the first time. So it's really telling where like Mark he was like really touched or emotional about the conversation he had with Pastor Cal and just saying he didn't realize the roles, like he didn't want to really be his father, but he kind of went backwards and pretty much said that he really needs Lindsey to be his mother, but didn't say, no, I don't need you to be my mother. He's like, after Nana's gone and Mom's gone, I'm really just going to need you to like be in a damn mother role. That's your wife, Mark. But okay, I'm exhausted. So, they seem to make up and open up to each other, and that's a great thing. But, you give it 3 or 4 days with them and they're going to be right back at it. Like, it's just a revolving circle of trauma, abuse, and all that good stuff. So we go to the scene where the couples, they're meeting up with Volleyball, and Mark and Lindsey is giving their buddies, Isaac and Katina, a ride to the volleyball game. And Mark and Lindsey really showed team spirit. They did their little dap up high five situation, then pulled off their removable pants, and guess who's looking? Is Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper, because they want to see if the couples have are they applying the advice that they had to see if they're kind of getting better. So they sit down and have a talk. And Steve, the moderator, guess he has to kick the production conversation off, like, how's everybody's marriage going or whatever. And when they get to Mark and Lindsey tries to act like her mouth is full, like, no, you go ahead. No, go ahead. You go ahead. And you can tell she don't want to talk. But when Mark pretty much, he gets to talking just about how rough conversations have been and how things are going, and just they want to get to a healthy place. And when it's Lindsey's turn to talk, finally, soon as she get to talk, and she go like, "Hey, y'all look up there. Look, it's a volleyball stuck up there." And Pastor Cal's looking at like she always does that. She does deflect, and it's true. Like anytime it's time to talk about something serious, or you ask her an uncomfortable question, she's gonna break out in laughter or just try to take your attention off that. And had anyone noticed, like, they were playing volleyball. They were having a great time, working hard. And everybody came back with water or Gatorade. Lindsey had an open cup of beer. She was just ready. And what I know, let's just say it. Lindsey has a strong relationship with alcohol. It's like it's always in her hand, like it's for her to cope. But, of course, we hear how sad she is, and that's a way that people who are sad or angry or can't deal with their feelings, that's one of their coping mechanisms, is what? It's self-medicating. So she's always drinking. So it makes a little bit more sense. And like, because some people try to normalize that, like, oh, people like to have a good time and drink and all that. Yeah, you can do that, but that stuff can kill you. That stuff can turn you into an addict if you do it in that manner. But, nobody who admits like, yeah, you know what? I do drink too much. I do. No, they don't do that. But, when she spoke, you could see that, like, she was still, like, upset and emotional about things. And she wiping her eyes with Jasmina got up and got her a tissue. We're surprised because Jasmina is soulless. She don't feel nothing. But she got a tissue to get Lindsey because she's still emotional about the things that she talked about. And I guess in the background, they noticed, or I don't know if it was Dr. Pepper or Pastor Cal, they noticed like how Lindsey had that emotional breakdown when talking. It just came out of nowhere. I don't know if we missed some of the conversation, but she said it and she was sad and crying, but she kind of leaned over to Mark. You got to look at that body language. And Mark was like, I don't know if Mark is checked out. I don't know if Mark is so shell-shocked by all the damage that Lindsey does, because how can you really be there for somebody who you constantly going to battle with, or you got to defend yourself, and then when they want to get emotional, you want to protect them and hold them. It really don't work like that for human emotion. So the so-called experts come out to the couples, and Pastor Cal mentioned that Mark always looks scared. Mark like, yeah, like y'all put me in a room with an alligator. I'm supposed to be scared. And Dr. Pepper reminded Lindsey that, again, when she's hurting, she needs to speak to the pain instead of the anger, to just reinforce that. And Pastor Cal mentioned to Lindsey, like, you got to have patience with this Mark. He's a good guy and all that. And she's like, I know he's a good guy. Like, but come on, Pastor Cal. How much patience can I have with this guy? It's like, it's ridiculous. And Pastor Cal really mentioned like he wants Lindsey to kind of focus on things, because he noticed that she's always deflecting, and he wants Pastor Cal wants Mark to stop making that scared shark face. And Lindsey's like, it's stuck like that. He's always scared. He can't help it. But that was really it for the episode with Mark and Lindsey. Just another perfect storm couple. And of course, they're going on a retreat in Vermont. And it's been about 72, 48 hours or something like that. So it's time for another blow up. So we'll wait and get into that next week. And as I tell y'all, get down in those comments. Let me know what y'all think. Something I missed. Something you want to add. So keep rocking with me. I appreciate all the support. And as I always tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.